Only a handful of franchises can claim to have an active 35-year legacy, and Final Fantasy is one of them. With the upcoming release of Final Fantasy XV in 2023, the franchise will celebrate this impressive milestone. It's been 7 years since the release of the last mainline Final Fantasy game, and both longtime fans and newcomers are eager to see what Square Enix has in store for the new era of Final Fantasy. The announcement of Final Fantasy XVI was made during Sony's PlayStation 5 showcase on September 16, 2020, but no release date was given at the time. However, during the PlayStation's June 2022 State of Play showcase, it was confirmed that the game would be released in the summer of 2023. Producer Naoki Yoshida revealed in a tweet on December 27, 2021, that the COVID-19 pandemic had delayed development by almost 6 months. Currently, Final Fantasy XVI is slated to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Yoshida has said that developing the game for the PlayStation 5 has allowed the team to create a seamless gameplay experience with no loading times, allowing players to jump straight from story cutscenes to real-time battles and back again at a breakneck pace. However, the reveal trailer for the game did include a card stating its platform exclusivity, with some fine print at the bottom indicating that the game will also be available on PC. While a PC version seems likely, it may not be released until sometime after the PlayStation 5 launch. If Final Fantasy XVI follows the timeline of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, we can expect to see the game on PC about a year and a half after its release on the PlayStation 5. The game's story takes place in Valistia, a land blessed by the light of the Mother Crystals. These towering mountains of crystal provide the realms around them with ether, a gift that enables people to live comfortably. However, the fading of the Mother Crystals and the destructive threat of the Blight have disrupted the peace that once prevailed over the different realms. The most powerful and deadly creatures in Valistia are the Icons, which are similar to weapons of mass destruction in the real world. Each icon resides within a dominant individual who can summon its power. Some realms treat icons as royalty to admire, while others force them to be weapons of war. The political landscape of Valistia recognizes dominance as crucial, and the rivaling realms send their icons to the field of war in hopes of seizing each other's crystals for their own gain. There are 6 realms in total: the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, the Kingdom of Walu, the Dalmekian Republic, the Iron Kingdom, and the Crystalline Dominion. These realms are vying for power, and the conflict between them is at the heart of the game's narrative. The reason Final Fantasy XVI has a classic medieval European fantasy setting is due to the core members of Creative Business Unit 3, the division responsible for the game's development. The team was inspired by the works of European fantasy authors such as J.R.R. Tolkien and George R.R. Martin, as well as medieval history and mythology. Final Fantasy XVI is set to bring back a classic medieval European fantasy setting, which is a departure from the modern technology and magic mix seen in the last mainline Final Fantasy game. This return to form will likely please many fans who have been eagerly awaiting the next installment in the beloved franchise. Valistia, the world in which the game takes place, is blessed by the light of the Mother Crystals, which provide ether to sustain life. However, the blight and the fading of the Mother Crystal's ether have led to unrest and conflict among the 6 realms vying for dominance. Despite the vastness of the world, Final Fantasy XVI will not be an open-world game. Instead, the team has opted for an independent, area-based game design that allows for a story that feels like it spans an entire globe and beyond. The game draws inspiration from recent AAA open-world RPGs, but avoids the design of a single open-world space. According to producer Naoki Yoshida, this approach will give players a better sense of the global scale of the game while delivering what he believes is the best story in an experience that blends games and movies. Yoshida has acknowledged that Final Fantasy has struggled in recent years to adapt to industry trends and to deliver games that generate excitement and critical acclaim. Final Fantasy XV, the last mainline entry, was met with mixed responses, while Final Fantasy XIII received positive reviews but also heavy criticism for its flaws. Final Fantasy XIV has achieved great success but had a rocky start and required significant support to reach its current status. While Final Fantasy XVI is currently slated to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, a PC version seems likely to follow after a year and a half, based on the Final Fantasy VII Remake timeline. The game's development was delayed by the COVID-19 pandemic, but Yoshida has confirmed a summer 2023 release window. Fans and newcomers alike are eagerly anticipating the game's release to see what Square Enix has in store for them in this new era of Final Fantasy. In Final Fantasy XVI, the story will revolve around Clive Rosfield and his journey through different stages of his life. The game will also heavily feature the Dominants and their icons, offering unique experiences to players during the icon fights. This choice of the story allows the game to explore mature themes that deal with the clash of values and ideas among people with different viewpoints. In Final Fantasy XVI, players take on the role of Clive Rosfield, the firstborn son of the Archduke of Rosaria. While Clive was meant to inherit Phoenix and become its dominant, fate had other plans, and his younger brother Joshua received the power instead. Despite this setback, Clive dedicated himself to mastering the blade and eventually became the first shield of Rosaria, a protector of Phoenix who can wield a part of the icon's fire. However, tragedy strikes when Clive is defeated by the mysterious dark icon Ifrit, setting him on a path of vengeance. Unfortunately, Clive's promising career comes to a tragic end at the hands of the enigmatic dark icon known as Ifrit, setting him on a path of vengeance. Meanwhile, Joshua struggles with the guilt of inheriting Phoenix's power and feels deeply conflicted about his relationship with his older brother. Joshua, Clive's younger brother, inherited Phoenix's power and feels guilty for doing so. He greatly admires Clive and feels deep emotional and physical turmoil after the tragic events that changed both brothers' lives forever. Jill Warwick is another character players encounter in Final Fantasy XVI. She was taken from her homeland in the fallen Northern Territories and raised alongside the Rosfield brothers, becoming a treasured confidant of the family. Other characters players will encounter are Hugo Kuka, the dominant of Titan, Benedicta Harmon, the dominant of Garuda, Dion Lesage, the dominant of Bahamut, and Barnabas Fatmir, the dominant of Odin. Finally, there's Torgal, the adorable wolf pup that players see in the reveal trailer. While it's uncertain whether Torgal will play a role in combat, it's clear that the development team hopes to capture as many players as possible with Final Fantasy XVI's fast-paced, real-time action combat system. Another important character in the story is Jill Warwick, who was taken from her homeland in the fallen Northern Territories to become a ward of Rosaria and secure peace between the warring realms. Raised alongside the Rosfield brothers, Jill is viewed as a trusted confidant and valued member of the family. Aside from these central characters, Final Fantasy XVI also introduces Hugo Kuka, the dominant of Titan. As the story unfolds, players will witness the clash of values and ideals between characters with differing viewpoints, prompting a deeper exploration of themes related to destiny, free will, and the meaning of life. Clive is the only playable character in Final Fantasy XVI, and he will be accompanied by AI-controlled companions for most of the journey. In combat, Clive is armed with a full arsenal of powerful attacks and abilities based on traditional Final Fantasy summons, and players can cycle between these attacks and deal with them in real-time icon battles. Each icon battle will be unique and offer different experiences, from 3D shooter-style battles to pro wrestling matches, transforming entire arenas into battlefields for the icons to a duel. The Final Fantasy XVI storyline will delve deeper into how people should live their lives, including questioning whether they should follow the life chosen for them or carve out their own destinies. This exploration of deeper and darker themes is a significant departure from some previous Final Fantasy games. Although Final Fantasy XVI will feature a few side quests, in-game compendiums, and materials to read for deeper lore, the game will primarily focus on delivering a self-contained story. There are no plans for tertiary content that players will need to enjoy or understand the game fully. Final Fantasy XVI's main story will be a self-contained experience with no plans for additional tertiary content. Overall, the game promises a compelling narrative and a diverse cast of characters for players to explore. The upcoming Final Fantasy XVI game is expected to bring significant changes to the franchise. According to director Naoki Yoshida, the game will introduce a new combat system that combines traditional Final Fantasy abilities with real-time action. This will allow players to swap and chain their abilities during battles, creating a dynamic and exciting gameplay experience. Additionally, the game will feature a variety of iconic battles, each with its unique style and gameplay mechanics. Final Fantasy XVI is seen as an opportunity for the series to reinvent itself and regain its standing among gamers. With an eagerness to try new things and an impressive team of developers, the game aims to offer a mature evolution of the franchise. However, only time will tell if Final Fantasy XVI will be the game that brings back the excitement and critical acclaim that the series once enjoyed. Final Fantasy XVI promises to deliver a gripping narrative set in a world of political intrigue and magical conflict. The game's stunning visuals and immersive gameplay are sure to captivate fans of the Final Fantasy franchise and newcomers alike. Overall, Final Fantasy XVI is highly anticipated by fans and newcomers alike, and the game's exclusive release on the PlayStation 5 promises a cutting-edge gaming experience with no loading times. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has caused some delays in the game's development, fans are still eagerly awaiting its release in the summer of 2023. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, make sure to give it a like and leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Until next time, keep gaming and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time right here on Gamers Den.